I have never felt nervous to sit down and film a video like the way I do right now. I don't really have a plan for this video. I don't know exactly what I'm going to say, but I do know that I just need to sit down and tell you guys what has been going on. I feel like I haven't been honest with you in a very long time, so I'm just going to try and lay it all out and be myself and give you guys the honest truth. I guess logically the only place I can start is by saying that 2018 has been a very hard year for me so far, for no reason other than the fact that I am struggling with really bad depression. I have not been in a good place mentally. You guys know in February I took a break from YouTube, and then I came back in March, and I feel like I came back with a bang. I was finally feeling motivated again, and I was so excited to start creating new content, and I felt like I had a lot of support. My videos were doing really well. I was getting a lot of really exciting opportunities. My videos weren't getting demonetized anymore, which was huge because all of my videos were being demonetized before, which is something that really affects your channel. So I kind of felt like taking that break reset my channel in a way, and I was just really happy to be getting back to the basics of my channel, reviewing beauty products. I was like, I'm going to post so many reviews because that is what I love doing. And then out of nowhere, the views on my videos plummeted. I hadn't changed what I was doing, but all of a sudden my videos were struggling to get even 1,000 views, which I'm not going to lie, that's really embarrassing for me. I know a lot of people already considered my views really low. I've seen people saying like, why doesn't Sari get views anymore? So I found this really discouraging, but I was like, I'm gonna keep at it. And I know people will say numbers aren't everything, but when you are a small YouTuber like myself and you're doing YouTube full time, they are extremely important. Like, these things really do matter. And in that space of time where I was feeling motivated, I talked about how I was genuinely in a better place. And then I don't know any better way to explain this, but I was basically overcome with a bout of depression, and it just hit me like a tidal wave. It has fully consumed me, and I'm still in that place where I feel trapped. I just could not bring myself to do anything, and I actually still have videos filmed that I just have not been able to bring myself to post because I'm like, no one's going to watch these. I filmed a current favorites video a little while ago, and I was like watching it back and getting ready to edit it, and I was just like, who's gonna care about this? Like, why bother? And one of the things that honestly has made me feel really bad when it comes to my YouTube channel is that along with my views dropping, people stopped commenting on my videos. And I know, like, I hate sitting down to do this because I know this sounds so stupid and trivial to people. You guys watching this, my subscribers have always really been my drive. I remember when my channel started growing a lot, I started getting so many comments on my videos, and that is what really pushed me to like throw myself into my YouTube channel and work so hard on it and really make this a big part of my life, because I saw the feedback and the comments and the DMs you guys were sending me, and that's just why I started doing this. I wanted to feel like I was part of something, like I was part of a community. I've said it on my channel numerous times before, but I genuinely consider you guys to be my friends, and that is because in real life I don't have any friends. I don't have any social interaction outside of YouTube. I know that's kind of like something people say to be quirky, but I literally do not have any friends. I was homeschooled in high school, and don't get me wrong, I love being homeschooled. I wouldn't trade that experience for anything, but I don't have friends from school, so all my friends that I have gotten throughout the years have been through like my jobs, but I feel like everyone has just forgotten about me. Like, I've always kind of felt like I'm the person that people leave behind. I've tried to kind of maintain relationships after leaving jobs to a point, because I have had people in my life that I've absolutely loved, but it just hasn't worked out. I feel like if I told people like the last time I hung out with someone, people would think I'm a freak, and it's really embarrassing. But then at the same time, I'm also so introverted that I go back and forth between being like, I don't even need friends, but then I'm like, what's wrong with me? This isn't normal. Like, people need friends, but I don't know, that's my situation. But when people stop responding and stop messaging me, it just really upset me, because I feel like I lost my friends. I don't know what you guys are interested in seeing, what you want from me, what direction I should take my channel in. My life lately has basically just become all self-doubt and all second-guessing myself because I just have no clue what I'm doing. I've never talked about this on my channel, but I kind of ended up doing YouTube full-time, not by accident, that's not the right term, but the reason I started doing YouTube full-time is because I actually got laid off from my 9-to-5 job at the time, and I was so embarrassed by this, and I'm still embarrassed by it, which is so stupid because it's not a job that like meant anything to me. It wasn't my career. It was just a job I took because I had no clue what I was doing with my life. And losing my job just happened to coincide with when my YouTube channel was kind of taking off and I was starting to actually make some real money from YouTube. So, you know, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Why not pursue this YouTube thing? Just like see where it takes me, and it ended up becoming my full-time job. Up until this point, I mean, this is still what I do full-time, but I can't help but think I wish I could go back in time when I got laid off, pick myself up and be like, you know what, suck it up, go out and get another real normal job and just keep YouTube as a hobby, because it is not all it's cracked up to be, that's for sure. And that's such an awful feeling because I put so much time and energy and money into YouTube, and I still love YouTube so much. Like, YouTube has been my solace in life for the past 10 years. But when it comes down to it, I'm still at that exact same place that I was 3 years ago or whatever when I took that 9-to-5 job. I still have no idea what I'm doing in my life. I still have no sense of purpose or direction in my life. I feel like I'm back at square one. I feel like I've been sitting at square one for a really long time actually, and there's just so much pressure in life to like know what your plan is. I thought if I put on makeup for this video I wasn't going to cry. And I know people are probably like, well, there's nothing stopping you from going out and getting a regular job now, but I do love being my own boss. I love setting my own schedule, and honestly, I don't think I'm in a place mentally where I could properly function in a normal workplace at this point. And realistically, I probably need therapy, but I can't afford the help I need. It's impossible to not feel like I'm at a dead end and like I have no options left. I know that's not true, but that's what depression does to you, and I feel like I need to say this because I know how people are on the internet. Yes, I do have a clinical diagnosis for depression, amongst other things. I spent a large portion of my teenage years seeing specialists, therapists, psychiatrists, undergoing different tests, trying so many different medications. I've even been hospitalized. I'm not self-diagnosing myself, not that I should even have to make that disclaimer, but that's just kind of how the internet is. And it has been so hard for me, and it has taken me so long to even admit to myself that I'm struggling, because I feel like after I went through all those things in my teenage years, there was a period of time, maybe like a few years or so, where I was genuinely happy. I genuinely was not burdened by my depression. So I feel like admitting this is just, it feels like admitting defeat. It feels like I'm sinking back into a hole, and just having to put this out there sucks, but I feel like I need to do it. I'm sorry if I'm looking all over the place when I'm talking. I feel like it's hard for me right now to talk about this and like stay focused on the camera, but I feel like another reason I've been struggling both like on YouTube and in my personal life is because I really stopped letting myself open up to anyone, especially on my videos. I've had some situations and experiences that have just made me want to shut down and close off. And last summer something happened in my personal life. If you followed me on like Snapchat at the time, then you might know what I'm referring to. I'm not going to go into details, but I specifically remembered when this happened, I told myself, and I really internalized this, I was like, okay, I'm not going to share details of my personal life on social media because I didn't like the attention it was getting. And while I didn't think this really affected me at the time, like, and looking back now, I think telling myself that has really affected the way I present myself on my channel and on social media. I took it a lot more seriously, I think, than I intended to. And I don't share my life the same way I used to, and I feel like that has really hurt my ability to connect with you guys, but also anyone. I don't know if this is making sense, but there's videos I wanted to make and subjects I wanted to discuss on my channel, like my mental health, but I've held myself back because I'm like, people I know in my personal life are going to watch this and they're probably going to judge me for it. So I have presented an edited version of myself, and I never used to do that. And that's why I stopped vlogging too. Not like I was a crazy big vlogger before or anything, but I was like, that's not something I want to share. When really it is, but I don't know, it's so stupid. Like, I'm on social media. Obviously people I know in real life are going to like look at the content I put out and listen to what I'm saying. But at that time I was just like, I just want to hide from the world and like have some kind of platform where like no one I know is watching. I can say whatever I want and not be afraid. But that's just not the reality of the situation. I know someone out there is probably watching this and thinking, oh my god, everyone on YouTube has depression or anxiety now, like cry me a river. I don't think YouTube causes mental illness, but I think a lot of people who do struggle with mental illness turn to YouTube as an outlet. And I think just due to the nature of like doing it full time, like with the kind of isolation it brings and not having to have a set routine, I think it can definitely make things worse, and it's not always the most positive environment. And I think that's just what has happened to me. And I think a lot of people on this platform go through that as well. I think more people are being honest about it too lately, which has definitely helped me to feel like I can post this video. But I've been trying to bring myself to like film a video like this for at least a month, and it has been so hard because I know people are going to be watching this. I just don't know what the people who know me personally are going to think. And it's funny because 2018 has probably been like the most tame and easygoing and uneventful year for me so far, at least in recent history. Like, I haven't experienced any loss or any tragedy. But you don't need a reason to be depressed. That's not how mental illness works. You know, people say like, oh, you have fame, money, success. I'm not saying I have these things, a great relationship, etc. What do you have to be depressed about? That's just not how it works. Your life can look perfect from the outside, and in reality your life can actually be pretty great. But I guess mental illness doesn't discriminate. And obviously reaching out has been a big topic of discussion recently. You know, you're told if you're struggling with depression, reach out to someone. If you see someone who might be struggling that's in your life, check in with them, make sure they're okay. But it is so much easier said than done. It is so hard to put yourself in that vulnerable place and feel weak. And I've had like a number of people message me within this year, I would say, like asking me how I'm doing, like clearly checking in with me because they can tell something is wrong. And I've tried to be more open, I've tried to be more vulnerable and be like, yeah, I'm really struggling right now. And you know how many times I don't get a response back after that? I feel like people don't know what to say, or they don't want to deal with it. They want you to be like, oh, I'm fine, haha. It's all good, and then like be able to move on with their life feeling like they have done something. Because then they can move on and, I don't know, just feel better for trying. That's why people don't reach out. And if you have messaged me recently and I haven't responded, please don't take it personally. My communication is terrible when I'm in this kind of mental state. It's just really draining not getting anything in return. I don't really know how to end this video. I was thinking about talking more about like how like the changes and like issues with YouTube recently have affected my channel behind the scenes, but I don't really want to go into detail with that. Like, there's only so much of blaming an algorithm that you can do when sometimes you just have to realize that maybe people just like aren't that interested in you. I don't know, but it has been almost 2 full years now since I've started getting messages on YouTube being like, oh, YouTube unsubscribed me from you. This video isn't in my subscription box. I don't get your notifications. I get your notifications 4 days after your video goes up. I don't know what I'm doing. I just wanted to get this off my chest, I guess. I'm so nervous to post this. I don't want pity from you guys. I don't want this video to come across like my happiness is 100% dependent on YouTube, because that's not the case. I'm just trying to explain the correlation between my depression and where I've been and how that fits in with my YouTube channel. I don't know what I'm doing. I just want someone to know what I'm going through.